Praise Jesus. We give him all the glory. I'm especially grateful to God for how he has helped us through the journey on this series of spiritual warfare. We have covered a number of topics, and we're going to go on and on, touching as many topics as possible till the Lord tells us, okay, it's time to move on to some other subject. In our last episode, we looked at the subject of fasting, the different kinds of fasting, and I promised that we're going to look at the experiences during the fast and how to break the fast. So we're going to look at that today. Now, a lot of people are scared of fasting because they believe that fasting can kill. But the truth is, it's not fasting itself that hurts people, it's how they break their fast. A lot of people, when they fast, they are unable to deal with the greed for food, that appetite, the craving for food. And because they're unable to deal with that craving for food, they'll go ahead to eat the meals they're not supposed to eat, after their fast. Now, I had a very bad experience some years ago. I just started the journey into fasting from a 3 days fast. I moved to, I think, 7 days. Then I went to 10 days. Then I went to 21 days and broke on the 20th day. Now, in that 21-day fast, I had a very bad experience because I did not deal with my greed appetite. Now, I broke my fast with juice, citrus to be specific. There was a very poor knowledge about fasting, so I used citrus to break my fast. I took orange juice, I took pineapple juice. That's after 20 days of fasting without food, just water. And I was taking a lot of citrus, and I drank almost 4 liters of citrus. Then all hell broke loose. As I stooling, it was so bad that if I take a tablespoon of water, I will stool. And it was terrible. I had to tell my parents that I need to fast again for another 3 days just to correct the issue that has been caused, because I read there's this little pamphlet by Babalola. It was translated into English where it talked about fasting, the benefits of fasting, how to go about your fast, and when you break fast wrongly, you have to fast a few more days to correct the issue. But in my own case, when I told my parents, I was still living with my parents. I was like, I need to fast a few more days to correct this issue. They almost took me straight to the hospital. They brought out antacid, gave me antacid, trying to solve, that issue, because it was really bad. I was stooling. Every single thing that comes to my belly, I was stool. Even a tablespoon of water would trigger stooling. So it was really bad. But somehow I got out of it. But with a scar at that time, because I literally, I wouldn't know how, I'm trying to look for the right words to use, but I heard a spirit speaking to me, and the spirit kept telling me that tonight you will die, and the spirit was also telling my dad that tonight your son will die. And I was hearing the voice speaking to me, because at that point in the fast, I was very sensitive to both things happening in the natural realm and the spirit realm. So I kept hearing the voice speak to me that tonight you will die. And I kept saying, I will not die but live to declare the works of the Lord. But there was no energy. And by the time I slept, that spirit came to pull my spirit out of my body. At some point, I couldn't hold my spirit back in, and I just released my spirit. And as my spirit was leaving my body, I began to hear tongues in my belly. That was what, revived me. The Holy Spirit was praying through me. And I got up and started praying in tongues. And I declared that I cannot die but live to declare the works of the Lord. So I came out that night. My mom was praying, by the way. I trust that it's her prayer that saved me that night, because I could hear her voice in the sitting room praying against death over me. She was seriously praying against death. At that time, I was dying. Now, it was not the fast that affected me. It was the way I broke my fast. I broke it foolishly. And that is what affected me in that past. So I'm doing this little guide just to help people that want to go through these spiritual experiences, so that you will not pass the same route, because there are those that have gone that route and they did not come out of it because they lacked wisdom. So the fasting does not kill. What can hurt you is the way you break your fast. So I want to talk about a few experiences you may have today when you engage in a very long fast. Most people fast from 1 day to 3 days without food. Some go beyond 3 days without food. Some will fast from about 3 to 7 days just drinking water. There are some persons that go beyond 7 days. Like for our ministry, every year we have a congregational fast of 7 days without food. We just take water, so we'll be together praying, trusting God, and we always experience miracles. We always experience supernatural interventions during those times of our corporate consecrated fast. Some persons do 10 days, some go beyond 10 days to do 14, and some go up to 21, which is the prophetic Lent fast. And there are some persons that go beyond 21 days and they do as much as 40 days and even up to 50 days. Now, I have never gone beyond that. I've never gone beyond the 3 weeks fast, so I can't speak so much about a 40 days fast. Even though I have general knowledge from studies and from the experiences of people, I'll prefer not to talk about the 21 to 40 days duration of fast because I've not done it personally, so I'm not going to talk much about that. In fact, I would not recommend that when you're just starting your journey, you should engage on that kind of a fast, except the Lord is leading you, and you need to be sure that the Lord is leading you before you do a fast of up to 6 weeks. Now, let's talk about the experiences. What happens when you want to engage on a fast? I talked about the preparation last week. When you want to fast, how to prepare yourself. Now, when you want to engage on your fast, there are certain things you have to put in order. Number one, you need to tell God why you want to do the fast. Just have that settled with God, because if you're going on a long fast, there should be a purpose. So you discuss that purpose with God and have all of that sorted out. Secondly, you need to give alms. One of the reasons why the kind of fast that God proclaims is a fast where you are giving out your food to the hungry. You're not going to be eating, so the food you would have eaten, give it to the hungry. So you can decide to visit an orphanage, give them food, give people clothes, just do some good works, right, before you engage on your fast. And if you have any issue with anybody, you have to deal with it. All issues of unforgiveness, strife, all those things have to be dealt with before you engage on your long fast. So those are some of the spiritual preparations you engage in when you're preparing for a long fast. Also, you need to prepare your physical body. So make sure you are not just recovering from sickness or you are sick. It would affect your fast. So you don't want to go into a fast when you have a health challenge. Also, you have to make sure that you have enough calcium in your body. So one of the things I do if I'm going for a fast that's up to 7 days, I make sure that I have enough calcium, so I can take foods that are rich in calcium. Or I take, you can use eggshell, by the way. You can grind eggshell and put it in your meal, or just take the regular calcium tablet. Or there's this CAC 1000, it's called calcium sandos. You can take it, it's like vitamin C, and about 1,000 milligrams. So you can take that to make sure there's no calcium deficiency in your body. Because if you are lacking calcium during the course of your fast, you're going to be having toothache and bone aches. And it can be very excruciating. Most people have broken their fast because of such pains. If you deal with toothache during a fast, it is really terrible. So you want to make sure that you have enough calcium. You also want to make sure that you don't have vitamin deficiency. So you take a lot of fruits and vegetables to prepare your body for your long fast. Now, when you start your fast, let's assume you want to do a 3 days fast. What are the experiences you're going to have for a 3 days fast? Now, this is from my own experience and the experiences of people who have done fasts that are more than that are up to 3 days. Now, when you start your fast on day 1, you still have hunger pangs, because that's the point where your body is still trying to adjust to the fact that food is not coming. So the body is still expecting food. So on day 1 of your fast, you'd feel hunger. Sometimes the hunger will translate to headaches, right? There's just this struggle. The body is expecting food. Food is not coming. The struggle is there throughout that day 1. Then you get into day 2. And because you're not eating, the body is still trying to, adjust. It's still expecting food. You may begin to experience more severe headaches. You may experience joint pains. I used to have joint pains a lot in the day 2 of my fast. So you may have joint pains, maybe your muscles, you feel much pains on your muscles, your joints, sometimes the shoulder, and headaches. For me, it used to be the elbows and, my limbs and all that. I used to have much pain, especially my elbows. Sometimes my shoulder, it's so painful. Sometimes my biceps, I'll have so much pain. But over time, those experiences reduced over time as I engaged longer in fast. So it was not as bad as it used to be in the earlier days. So you may have all of those joint pains, headache, tiredness. Sometimes when you lie down, to get up is a problem. So that's just the experience of day 2. And day 2 is one of the most difficult days in your fast. Most people, that's when they quit. When they get to that point where they're having so much difficulties and discomfort during the fast, they'll just quit on that day 2, because that's one of the most difficult days of any fast. So you have to go through that day 2. Now that you know that these are some of the experiences you face on day 2, you have to persevere, you have to push on. All right, so that's the day 2 experience. And when you get into the 3rd day of your fast, in the morning of the 3rd day, you may still feel hungry. There are some persons from day 1, once they make up their minds they're going to fast, they don't feel hungry anymore. But there are some others that still, struggle with it. The regular way is that day 1, day 2, you'll still be hungry, even up to day 3 morning. It is regular. But there are some persons that, God has helped them, and because they've gone through this so much, they know how to position their minds and, to just, as I say, I'm fasting. Hunger just goes. I feel that that's by the hand of God, by the way. So, your regular experience is hunger day 1, day 2, and the morning of day 3. So in day 3, you may start feeling some form of weakness and discomfort. You may start still feel some of those headaches here and there, general body weakness. But when you get towards the evening of day 3, you'll notice you wouldn't be hungry anymore. At that point, the body's already adjusting. So those hunger pangs and all that will just go away. That usually happens on the 3rd day of your fast. Now, there are other things you will experience, like bad breath, because of the production of ketosis. So you want to be very conscious about your dental hygiene, because your breath is going to be bad, foul during that period. So some people use gums with menthol. They just chew gum, especially when they're going into public places, so they don't make other people uncomfortable. So people chew gum just because of that. Now the thing is, the gum is actually not food. The gum is not breaking your fast. There's some people that believe that when they are fasting, nothing should even touch their mouth at all, especially for those that are doing a dry fast, no food, no water for 3 days. Right? There are people that don't take anything. They will not even brush their teeth, because they believe that if toothpaste touches their mouth, they are breaking their fast. But toothpaste is not food, right? You want to at least be clean. You want to clean up your mouth. So I don't think that brushing your mouth has any implication on your fast. Please make sure you bathe very well. Make sure you brush your mouth. Make sure you're conscious about your hygiene. You may also notice that when you shower, you may find out that your skin has been producing a lot of toxins or dirt. Some people just shower and they'll find out that the water is unusually dirty. The waste from their baths, they'll notice is unusually dirty. So that can happen during the course of your fast, within the period of day 1 to day 3. Now, if you are doing a 3 days fast and you want to break, once it goes beyond 12 a.m. on that 3rd day into the 4th day, you can then break your fast. If you break before 12 a.m., you have actually not completed the 3 days cycle. You say, so you must wait. Let's say you're starting your fast on Monday, right? From 12 a.m. on Monday, you stop eating. So you have Monday, Tuesday, then on Wednesday, 12 a.m., that's when you break your fast. So that's a complete 3 days fast. So at that point, you can then go ahead to break your fast. I'm going to give you a guide on how to break a 3 days fast, a 7 days fast, 14, 21, just like that. Just a general guide. I'm not a medical practitioner. My mom is a nurse, and I have practical experience in the medical field because I was working with her for a while. However, I am not a medical professional, so I cannot give you medical advice. I can only suggest based on my own experience, based on the experience of others, but it's still recommended that you see your doctor on certain issues when it comes to your health, because these things differ from one person to another. So I'm just going to give you a general guide and give you my own experience, but I'm not saying you have to follow what I'm saying to you. You still have to seek advice from your doctor. Now, if you're going beyond 3 days, you want to do, say, 7 to 10 days, you will notice that on the fourth day of your fast, you start getting a little stronger than you used to be, because on day 3 you're still very weak. But on the fourth day, the fifth day, you start getting a little stronger. Then you'll notice that you notice a sharp sensitivity. Your sensitivity starts getting a little more heightened. Then your sensory perceptions, they get heightened, they become sharper. So you notice that you pick things faster. Taste, you can pick a taste clearer. If somebody is cooking stuff from miles away, sometimes you can even perceive it. If something drops even in the other room, sometimes you can hear. You just notice that your ears are sharper, your eyes are sharper. Some of all those sensory, your skin, everything starts getting sharper. Then from the fourth day, fifth day, sixth day of your fast, you begin to notice weight loss, because at this point you are not eating, so your body will start feeding on what is currently available. Now, some of the food residues in your intestines, in your stomach, your body is going to feed on it and absorb the nutrients in it. And at some point, your body will start feeding on the fat that is in your body. So the fat becomes food, and this can continue up to your 40th day. In fact, for those that do longer fast, at some points the body can start feeding on organs in the body. That's why it's not recommended to go beyond 40 days in a fast, because hunger has a cycle. It's usually 0 to 40 days. So we expect on the 40th day you should start introducing food again. Jesus fasted for 40 days, Moses fasted for 40 days, Elijah fasted for 40 days. They didn't go beyond that. There are people that have gone beyond 40 days, by the way, but they didn't go beyond that. So there's a cycle, and it's recommended for you not to go beyond 40 days. That's my recommendation. As seen in scriptures, that's my own recommendation. I don't suggest you go beyond 40 days. And if you're even going to go beyond 21 days, make sure that Jesus is leading you. Be very sure. Get confirmation that is leading you to go that long in a fast, especially when you have not done it before. And if you're going to be doing a fast that is up to 21 days, make sure that you are doing it under accountability. Have somebody, maybe your pastor or a leader, a spiritual leader in your fellowship or cluster or wherever you are. Make sure there's somebody following you up. Hallelujah. There was a pastor that when we did our 7 days fast at one point, he joined us for the 7 days fast, and he felt led to continue beyond the 7 days up to the 21st day. So it was in one of the rooms in the camp facility we used to use, and I was monitoring him. So I was giving feedback. Sometimes I would go there, give him warm water. I was following up. At some point, he wanted to break the fast. He felt that God has answered him. I said, "You finish it, sir. You finish it, because you told the Lord 21 days." And he finished that fast, and God really helped him. God gave him direction and all that. So make sure that there's somebody that is with you, somebody's observing, and it's submitted to someone just for guidance. Because when you engage in a very long fast, there are a lot of things you attract, both the positive and the negative. So like I said, if you're engaging in a fast from 4 to 7 days, you're going to experience disrupted sleep patterns. You're going to experience weakness, but you have that mental alertness. Generally, you start getting stronger, right? If you're going from about 8 to 21 days, you will notice at some points that during the course of the fast, the weakness will come back again. You start feeling a little weak, especially when you're going beyond that 8 days to maybe 14. There are certain times you may experience, I'm not sure the right words to use, because in my own experience, sometimes I won't hear properly, right? It'll feel like there's water in my ears. It'll feel like there's water in my ear for some time, then my ears will pop open again. Sometimes I'll just hear sound. That's the kind of experience some people that react to quinine, that's the kind of experience they hear, where it feels like there are bubbles in the ear. So I also have such kind of experiences. And if I'm lying down and I get up all of a sudden, there are sometimes everywhere will be dark. I can't see anything. I have to stand and wait for some time for my vision to be restored. So those kind of experiences come up. Some people may get scared when they begin to experience that, but if you know that you're going to experience stuff like that, it makes you better prepared. Then there's some persons that experience some skin irritation during the course of their fast beyond 8 days, and that's because during the course of that fast, your body has become a little vulnerable. You don't have the required nutritional intake that your body needs, so it's more like a malnutrition. So at that point, you're vulnerable. It's easy, to get attacked. It's easy to get one skin issue or the other. That's why hygiene is very important during the course of your fast. But because this fast is unto the Lord helps you. The Lord keeps you, right? There are people that experience fever during their fast. It gets so feverish. In fact, it will look like you're going to die. Some persons are strong enough. They have that, determination that irrespective of how they feel, it will continue. And somewhere during the course of the fast, they get healed. There are others that just break the fast. Now, if your faith is not able to carry that and you begin to experience fever during your fast, it's recommended that you break your fast. There was a fast I engaged in for 7 days, and it was so bad. Fever was so strong. Oh my God, it was terrible. Now, I've told God's people that we're going to be engaging on a fast, and I thought about it. How will it be that I've kept people in a camp meeting? They are fasting. Then me, I'll go and break my fast. How is it going to be? So I went to the room, I laid down, I told God that I'm not breaking this fast. I felt like I was going to die. I slept, woke up, and I was healed. Completely healed. Every trace of fever disappeared. The pains I felt, the discomfort, it was horrible. Everything disappeared. God healed me completely. You see it? So you may have some of those, signs, maybe fever, pains, and all that during the course of your fast. But if you put your trust in God, He will show up for you. So the fast from 8 to 21 days, it's not a very easy one. There are many times your emotions will be affected. You feel so lonely. There are times you feel so withdrawn. There are other times there's just a mix of different emotions. There's sometimes you are rejoicing, sometimes you feel sad, sometimes you feel alone. At this point, you don't have the appetite for food anymore. If you even bring food before you, when it irritates you, you're not interested in it, right? So there are a mix of different experiences. There was a time I engaged on a long fast like that for about 7 days. I was not having any dream, no vision and all that. So I found out that I was a little distracted where I was. I had to go to a campground and stayed in the campground. So when I separated myself and stayed alone, I started having revelations. God started speaking to me. A lot started happening. You see, so during the course of that fast, you may have encounters. There are other times in this fast you may not have an encounter, right? The encounter may come after the fast, but your trust must be in the Lord that He will respond to the issues you have brought before Him. Whether the response is coming during the fast or after the fast, the important thing is that the Lord is going to respond. So that's the kind of experience you may have in a fast like this. So on day 8, day 10, you still have those weaknesses. At some point, strength will come again, and on. It goes on and on and on until you get to your 21st day. There are sometimes you'll have pain. Toothache may come. There are certain times you may feel pain on your eyeballs. Other times headache. Some other time joint ache. And dehydration. Dehydration is one of the things you experience a lot, so you must keep yourself hydrated. Take water as often as possible. When I do my fast, I always have a bottle of water with me. I take it as often as I can. And you're going to be urinating frequently because you are taking water. At some point, your urine may be colored, but as you go on, you'll find out that your urine becomes white because there is no more waste in your body. Your body has gotten rid of a lot of the waste. And one major thing that happens during the course of a very long fast like this is that every disease in your body is going to be feeding on it. There's a particular doctor I read about. He treats his patients with, a long fast. So people who have diabetes, cancers, he will put them on a very long fast, usually within a period of from 21 to 40 days. And some of them, they get healed after doing the fast because the body will feed on that disease. When the body becomes hungry and there's no food to eat, it will eat the cancer. However, I'm not recommending that to people. Like I said, It's what the doctor uses. Personally, I've seen people with ulcer healed from a long fast. In fact, my own wife has experienced the same thing. She's had an ulcer for a period of time. After we got married, we had this 7 days congregational fast, and she entered into the fast with ulcer, and she got healed. She no longer has ulcer. There was a time I was having symptoms of ulcer too. If I've not eaten for a while, I'll start feeling severe pains on my back, sometimes to my chest, and I was wondering, what is this? It seemed like ulcer. We got into our 7 days fast, as always, and I was healed. So I've seen people that got healed doing that. However, I will not tell you that, because you have an ulcer, go and do a 7 days fast. But if you believe that God is speaking to you through this, you can attempt it and God will help you. So those are some of the experiences you have when you engage in a fast. If you go online, you see a lot of people that have engaged in fast from 3 to 21 days, even up to 40. You see their journal, the kind of experiences they have. You can study those journals just to have an understanding of the kind of experiences that people have during a long fast. Now we're going to go ahead to talk about how to break your fast. Let's talk about the general principles when it comes to breaking your fast. There's principles that you must follow. Number one is hydration. If you're going through a fast from, let's say 1 day to even up to 40 days, you're going to experience dehydration. So you need water. If you are breaking your fast, please start with water. And when you're starting with water, we're not recommending cold water. Cold water can cause two things in your body. Number one, cold water can lead to digestive shock because the digestive system is still trying to regain normalcy, and all of a sudden you introduce cold water. There may be a shock in the body because introducing electrolytes, there's just a lot going on when you take cold water. It can even cause the shrinkage of your digestive system or your stomach because it's cold. So you don't want that kind of shock. Instead of the body relaxing, gaining normalcy, it's not experiencing shrinking. So you don't want that when breaking your fast, so avoid cold water. Also, it can cause a temperature shock because the body now has a normal temperature. You've gone through a fast, a lot has gone on in the body, putting it back in proper order. Then all of a sudden you come with very cold water. In fact, some people go to the freezer, take extremely cold water and drink to break a fast. It's not recommended. You'll be hurting yourself. So if you're breaking your fast, it's either you're taking room temperature water or you're taking warm water. Warm water is recommended when breaking your fast. Whether it's a 1 day fast or a 40 days fast, warm water is recommended when breaking your fast. Avoid cold water at all cost. Some people put honey in warm water when breaking their fast. Now for a fast of maybe 1, 2, 3 days, that's it's okay to do that. However, when it goes longer, it's really not recommended because honey has sugar in it, and honey also has it gives energy because when you break down sugar you get energy. So honey has energy in it, and the body will not need to go through the process of digesting food. It just goes straight to the blood when you take honey. But it's not recommended when you are fasting over a long period of time because the sudden introduction of sugar into the body can affect the body. However, if you even go through the Bible, you will see at some point when Jonathan took honey for his fast. Let's just quickly look at that scripture. 1 Samuel chapter 14, we read from verse 24. Now the men of Israel were in distress that day, for Saul had placed the troops under an oath, saying, "Cursed is the man who eats any food before evening, before I have taken vengeance on my enemies." So none of the troops tasted any food. Now Saul had told the people that they should not eat anything. If anybody eats it, that person is going to be cursed. Verse 25. Then all the troops entered the forest, and there was honey on the ground. And when they entered the forest, they saw the flowing honey. Not one of them put his hand to his mouth because they feared the oath. Jonathan, however, had not heard his father had bound the people with an oath. So he reached out the end of the staff in his hand, dipped it in the honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes brightened. You see it. Then one of the soldiers told him, "Your father bound the troops with a solemn oath, saying, 'Cursed is the man who eats food today.' This is why the people are faint." So you see that because the people were not eating, they were fainting. But when Jonathan took honey, his eyes brightened, because that's actually food. Honey gave him energy, so it brightened up. I just want to show you that from scriptures that honey can really help, but that's when the fast is not a very long fast. So you see that this fast is we're engaging is like a 1-day fast. So he took honey to break that 1-day fast and he got some energy. However, when you're going, on a longer journey, I would not recommend that you break with honey and water. So like I said, you must hydrate yourself. It's a general principle. But in hydrating yourself, do not take carbonated drinks. Avoid it at all costs. It's a big risk for you to take carbonated drinks when breaking your fast. I heard a story of a woman who broke her fast with a carbonated drink. As she was breaking, she just opened up the bottle and just started drinking. And that sudden influx of the drink, sugar and all of that, the body experienced shock and the woman died. It was a very terrible story. It will look like someone waited on God, the person fasted, at the end of the day the person died. And when a lot of people hear such stories, they start getting scared about fasting. People begin to avoid fasting. Meanwhile, it was not the fast that affected the woman. It was her greed for food, that appetite for food that she could not conquer. Gluttony. She couldn't conquer her appetite for food. That is what affected her. Babalola said something in one of his books. He said, see, if you fast and at the end of your fast you are eating without control, it means that you have not conquered the appetite for food. You are still dealing with gluttony. You need to fast again. It was that deliberate about it. In fact, I found out that in his teachings, his disciples, they regulated the use of water. When fasting, they had times they take water. Even though I don't recommend that, I take water all through. But those guys were so deliberate about their appetite that they even controlled their water intake. Hallelujah. So these things are very important things. Don't just, you want to break a fast, you just go and carry Fanta or Coke, Sprite, and just start gulping after 3 days of fasting. You want to kill yourself. Or 7 days of fasting. You may do this and get away with it, right? But you don't know. It may just be God showing you mercy, or you're hurting your body unknowing to you. Sometimes you may hurt your body and you will not know immediately that you have caused some harm in your body. So it's not recommended for you to do that at all. If you must hydrate yourself, use water. Then there are some others that hydrate themselves with juice. After taking warm water, they go ahead to take juice. But if you're going to take juice, it should be freshly made juice, especially when you're fasting more than 3 days. Don't go and buy Chivita and all of those. I'm not speaking against any brand, by the way. I'm just calling one of the popular names that you know. Don't go and buy some of those drinks and just, exotic Chivita and all of those drinks, and you break your fast with it. I had an experience one time. I did a 14 days fast, if I remember correctly. I think it was about 14 days or so. And I broke with one of these your popular juices. And I had a very terrible experience. After breaking with that juice, concentrate separated from the liquid in my belly, and I was urinating concentrates. The pain was so excruciating. That's when I knew that, some of these drinks, they have a concentrate that they just add liquid and turn it into a juice. It separated in my belly. I was urinating concentrate. It's like somebody urinating ground chalk. It was so painful and so terrible. But if you are doing a natural juice, let's say you get watermelon, you can remove the seeds, blend the watermelon, use a sieve, and get just the juice out, and you can drink that after taking warm water. That's also recommended. Is a way you can also hydrate yourself with juice, especially when the fast is less than 14 days, or at least for 14 days and below. If you're going, beyond that, up to 3 weeks, what may be recommended may be liquid from boiled tomato. That's what may be recommended for that instead of watermelon after such a long fast. So you just hydrate yourself. So hydration is very important during your fast. Also, the next principle is observing your body. Monitor your body. Observe it. After taking warm water, maybe if you're doing a 3 days fast or 7 days fast, you've taken a fruit like watermelon and all that. Observe the way your body reacts. Don't be in a hurry. Some people want to break their fast, jump every single thing. All the things they've not eaten. Some will even go and shop. Yeah, I've actually done that a few times. I'll go buy a lot of stuff that will take after my fast. Some people will load their refrigerator with stuff. Pick chicken, bite a little. Pick this one, bite a little. Pick fish, bite a little. Before you know it, they start having pain. That's not how to break your fast. So you must observe your body. Check your body. After taking in some water, observe your body. You've taken in some fruits in small quantities, bits and pieces. Just take it little here, little there. Give it some time, then observe your body. How is your body reacting? There was a time I broke my fast with banana. After taking banana, I noticed I started having bloat. There was gas in my belly. My stomach became bloated. So I knew that the banana had too much fiber, and the fiber has affected my digestive system. So I had to give it some time for that whole experience to go down before introducing something else. Because at that point, your stomach would be so tight. So you want to observe that. And if you've done a long fast, let's say for 7 days, most people after doing a 7 days fast, they may not be able to go to the toilet through the period of that 7 days. Especially if you have eaten hard food before you started your fast. Because there are persons that, if they are doing a 7 days fast, right? Our ministry in about 12 days time will be doing a 7 days water fast. Some persons, they know that the fast will start on Sunday. On Saturday, they will load themselves up with enough food, hoping that that food is going to sustain them over a period of time. Right? What many don't understand is when you take heavy food, it will increase your metabolic activities. Now, on day one of your fast, where you're supposed to, be getting started, you'll be very hungry. And that becomes a worse experience for you because you took too much food. You see, it is counterproductive. Now, after taking that heavy food, the food has not properly digested before the fast started. So they may not even go to the toilet that first day. Because when the body knows that it has gotten into a fast, it will just shut down certain activities. Then it begins to feed on what is left in your belly. So you may not go to the toilet for a period of time because the body doesn't want to lose too much of fluid or what is already in the body, so you can feed on it. So now you have eaten very heavy food. They are doing 7 days, 10 days. To go to the toilet now becomes a problem. Many will struggle. They can't go to the toilet. Then after the fast, instead of taking warm water, waiting so that excretion can happen so they can go to toilet, they will not add more food again and load the belly. It's not supposed to be like that. Now, after your fast, give it some time. Take warm water. Warm water helps you go to the toilet, especially in the morning. Take warm water. Take enough of the warm water, and it will help you excrete. And you'll find that your excreta will be so foul because of the toxins that your body has been accumulating, and you excrete those toxins, and you have a very foul excreta. So, general principles, like I said, you must hydrate your body, you must observe your body, just monitor the body, make sure that everything is in order. The next fundamental principle is to slowly introduce food. Slowly introduce food. Don't introduce food all of a sudden. There's a kind of food you should introduce after a 3 days fast. There's a kind of food you should introduce after 7 days fast, 14, 21, just like that. So we're going to look at that, but slowly introduce food. Don't just load your belly with food all of a sudden. You're going to cause a shock because the grinder in your belly has not been working for a period of time because of the fast. If you introduce food all of a sudden, the grinder may experience a shock, and it can even lead to loss of life. Now, let's look at breaking the fast. You want to do a fast of 1 to 3 days. You have completed your fast. How do you break? I'll just give you a general guideline for a fast of about 1 to 3 days. When breaking your fast, number 1, start with warm water. Like I said earlier, if you're taking warm water, just keep taking it gradually. Because during your fast, you may have been taking water. If you're doing an absolute fast, 3 days without food and water, so you'll be taking water for the first time, right? I don't recommend going without water for more than 3 days. It is not recommended at all. It is not good for your health. So if you're doing a fast of 1 to 3 days without water at all, taking that warm water will be your first introduction to water. But if you have been taking water during the course of your fast, you just need to break with warm water. So after taking warm water for a 3 days fast, you can then go ahead to take watermelon. because watermelon is rich in fiber and it's also a very light fruit. It's not very heavy. It's digestion. So watermelon is really good. It digests very fast. So you can remove the seeds and just eat watermelon. Take it in little bits. Allow the food, go down gently. Don't be in a hurry. After taking your watermelon, you will notice that the peristaltic movement will resume again in your belly. You start hearing your belly make sounds and your intestines, everything is waking up because the whole peristalsis is starting all over again. Your body is coming, your digestive system is coming back alive, right? Because during the time of your fast, it went to rest. The grinder has gone to rest, the whole digestive system is resting, it's renewing itself. Many people, some are up to 30, 40, their system has never rested. From when they were born, when they started sucking their mom's milk till now, there has not gone a day where the belly does not have something to work on. It's like when those days before blenders became popular, when we want to blend tomato and all that, we used to go to, there are some people that have this local engine for blending tomato, corn and all that, will carry it there. So you see them every time they are turning something into that engine. Some markets still use it today. They'll turn food inside, grind it, you collect your own, another person comes, will just turn water through, turn food. Some people's system are like that. Things are always moving in and coming out of it. There's not a time to rest. That's why some people look old even before they get old, because the body does not rest at all. Resting is not just the resting. We're not just talking about the resting without, even the resting that happens within. There must be times when your body can rest. So for that fast of about 3 days, after taking in your watermelon, you waited for a while. Don't be in a hurry. Like I said, don't make yourself like a grinding machine in the market. Take your watermelon, wait for a while. You can take an apple. Apple is also very good. It's not very heavy. For a fast of 3 days, by the way. You take an apple. You can also take some vegetables like carrots, cucumber. You can take pawpaw. Pawpaw is also very mild, but avoid citrus at all costs. Don't take oranges, don't take pineapple, don't take lime, don't take lemon. Those are fruits that you need to avoid in your fast. Don't take citrus at all. Avoid carbonated drinks, avoid citrus. You can take watermelon, you can take apples, you can take pawpaw. Those are very good. You can take cucumber, you can take carrots for a fast of 3 days. So after taking warm water and watermelon, you can go ahead to take those after a while. Then you observe your body for some time. Towards the evening of that day 1, you will notice that your body is beginning to resume normal activities. Then you can now go to soups. So there are, you can use a chicken soup that is not spicy. You must avoid all kinds of soups that are spicy. Avoid spice. Because if you take foods that are very spicy, it may hurt the linings of your stomach. Your intestines may be affected, and that can cause ulcer. So avoid spicy food. So you can take chicken broth, you can take fish broth, that's your chicken soup, but not pepper soup. Just regular chicken, the broth from chicken. You can use that. Though it's a little oily, but it's for a 3 days fast. You can take the chicken broth or fish broth. You can also take a corn soup. You can take carrot soup. Just any light soup. You can even take vegetable soup if it's really light and the vegetables have been cooked very well. You can take that towards the evening of day 1. Then you will notice that from day 2, because it's 3 days fast, so it may not be as challenging as it will be for a 7 days fast. You'll notice that on the second day of your fast, you can gradually begin to resume your meals, like having meals like beans and all of those meals. You can start having that from the second day of your fast, because for a 3 days fast, you need up to 3 days for your system to normalize. If you are doing a 7 days fast, you need up to 7 days for your system to normalize. If you're doing a 14 days fast, you need up to 14 days for your system, so on and so forth. If it's 21 days, you need from that 10 days to 21 days. If it's 40 days, you may need up to 20 to 30 days, just like that. So if you're fasting for any length of time, give your body that same length of time to get back to normal activities. So that's a 3 days fast. If you're going up to 7 days, you can also break with warm water, with watermelon. After taking warm water, then throughout that evening, just go with watermelon and warm water. Watermelon, warm water. Some persons boil tomato and they drink the fluid from tomato to break that fast. Now, in our ministry, I remember one time we were doing a 7 days fast, and one of the ministers made jollof rice and did it in takeaway packs. And after the brethren had broken with warm water, then fruit salad, after breaking with fruit salad, they instructed the brothers that please, this rice that has been done is a takeaway, so you take it home when food and your you normalize eating, you take your packs. They said yes, of course. By the time we were done breaking with our fruit salad, we went to the trash can and were shocked to find packs of those takeaway packs empty. They went straight into the rice. There were others that went to take. I remember one brother that went to break with yam. One other brother went to do banga soup with starch. And later, one of them had issues. He came back to start cautioning people that after taking this, he now started having serious excruciating pains and all that. Of course, that will happen because you broke wrongly. You see it? So the caution is important. You must be able to conquer your appetite. If you do a 7 days fast, on that night where you broke 12 a.m., you can't be eating solid food. What you take is fruits. What do you take of fruits? Then some people do fruit salad. We do fruit salad sometimes, but the fruit salad is not just all fruits. In the fruit salad, we'll do watermelon, especially some apples in it, some shredded carrots in it. So that's what we do mostly. We just do that and eat it together for that very evening, right? Then in the morning, you can still take some other fruits like apples, watermelon, and all that. Then observe it towards the afternoon. Continue with your fruit. Personally, towards the evening of that same day, I start doing salad. I do vegetable salad mostly. I do watermelon, apples, vegetable salad with water. That's what I use mostly for my fast. So for the salad, I use cabbage, carrots, cucumber. Those are the basic things to use for the fast. I don't bother putting sweet corn and all of those stuff. I just use carrot, cabbage, cucumber. So I start taking the salad gradually in very little quantities. There are sometimes after taking the salad, I start feeling that bloating, but I'll have to wait for a while. Then when it relieves me, I'll take very little more. So that's how I do it towards the second day. Then from the second day of the fast, gradually I can start taking soups. Gradually, then from the third day, I gradually resume my normal meals in very small quantities. So personally, I use up to 3 days to break my 7 days fast. Like I'll take it again. Start with warm water, go to your fruits, cucumber, carrots. Maybe towards the evening you can do salads if you want, or you do very light soups. I do vegetable soups sometimes. So that's for fast that is no more than 7 days. When you're doing a fast that is from 10 days to 14 days, it's very similar to the 7 days fast, but you need a longer time. Where you're supposed to be taking vegetable soup and all that for maybe day 2, it may not go later, maybe to your 3rd or 4th day. So you may start with your warm water, go to watermelon, take it gradually, for some time. You can enter other fruits like cucumber. Just take it gradually like that, and you keep observing your body, you keep taking those things. Then gradually you can now introduce your soups. Say on the 2nd day, you can introduce your soups gradually, very light soups. So that's how you take it on and on until your appetite is restored. You don't just go on to eat heavy foods. And if you're doing up to 21 days, you need a longer time to break that fast. So for the first 2-3 days, you may still be doing fruits. Then maybe on the 3rd day, you can do your salads. On the 4th, 5th day, your soups are coming in gradually, just on and on and on like that until your body can now take more solid food. So the goal here is to monitor your body, take what is very light, the soups, the vegetables, and all that, and make sure that you're not taking anything that is going to hurt your body, that is too heavy for you. Observe, if you take in something and all of it immediately you feel a reaction, you need to stop immediately and observe your body. So that's the goal. So I'm just going to highlight some of the recommended meals again for fruits: watermelon, apples, pawpaw, banana. You can take banana, but with caution, because banana can make your stomach bloated and is heavy, it can cause gas. So you take with caution. Then for vegetables, carrots, cucumbers, they are very good. Cabbage. For soups, light soups and broths, you can take chicken soup, carrot soup, fish broth, so on and so forth. Then a number of persons also do pap. They take pap. Some do custard, but pap is really good, especially from the if you're doing a 7 days fast, you can start taking pap from the second day. In fact, some people even take it from the evening of the first day because it digests quick and it's light. So pap is recommended. Now, meals to avoid spicy food, avoid food that has a lot of pepper. Please avoid them. Avoid suya. You cannot be breaking fast with suya and stuff like that. Avoid citrus when breaking your fast because of the acid content of citrus. What do you do when you break your fast wrongly? Now, if you break your fast wrongly, let's say now you took what you're not supposed to take and you're having discomfort and pain, you can see a doctor. When I broke my fast wrongly, my mom's a nurse, so she gave me an antacid to take, and the antacid helped me. I'd recommend you see a doctor. Now, if the case is not very severe, maybe it's just minor stooling here and there, some persons will fast a little longer, maybe for 1 or 2 more days or 3 more days, to try to get the body to, balance out again. But I would recommend that you see a doctor if you have broken your fast wrongly and your health has been affected. God bless you as you engage in your fast. I trust that the Lord will give you wisdom, and the purpose for which you engage in that fast, the Lord is going to meet that need.